Hey guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to Warframe video. So last night I did Profit Taker public matchmaking and played literally every single frame in the game against the Profit Taker in a public squad. So I got to find out what was extremely terrible, what also was surprisingly useful. So I decided to bring you a top 10 list of frames I found to be good last night in public matchmaking. And I also took into account with this list, if you were in an organized squad or soloing, how useful this frame would be in a squad. So let's get into it. Some dishonorable mentions first. So frames you should never play for this Profit Taker fight. One of them is Banshee. Never play Banshee for this. It's really not worth it. You're going to just die all the time, even with a double Guardian set. And even with Bless, like, you're probably going to die still as well. Additionally, Ash is pretty useless here, sadly. I thought that his Seeking Shuriken would work against the Profit Taker. It does not work after they changed armor removal working against the Profit Taker, so don't bring Ash. He basically has no purpose in the fight, just like Banshee. Also, like Nyx. I mean, Nyx has Chaos, and I guess that's kind of nice. Also, Assimilate, if you're using the Augment mod, lets you walk around while invincible and also shoot the boss. So Nyx isn't as bad as the previous two I just mentioned, but yeah. Also, like Ember. Ember has a very niche use in when you shoot outside her fire ring, it buffs your weapons with fire damage, but it's not like worth enough to actually bring Ember to the fight in the first place. So yeah, let's get into the list of the actual frames you should bring to this. And number 10, so the one I thought was least useful out of these 10 on this list, is Frost. So Frost is good because he basically gives you like a nice chill area, no pun intended, to like hang out and shoot the boss. There are a couple attacks that do pierce the snow globe. So the Profit Taker's lasers, also the magnetic waves, and the Fluctus Corpus enemy, those all penetrate the snow globe. So you do need to be aware of those. But if you have like 3 snow globes stacked on top of each other, it won't break for a good like 30 seconds. So that's like a nice safe place you can be if you don't have like a Trinity or somebody keeping you tanky the entire fight. So another nice thing about Frost is normally you don't have the cold element covered. At least I don't usually have it covered. So if you go to one of his augment mods, it's called Freezing Force. So if you coordinate with your teammates, you can actually buff them and give them 100% cold damage on their attacks for 40 seconds. So that can be pretty nice. I mean, you usually don't have cold covered, so if you were to like maybe take off, I don't know, you could take off this, I guess, and you would have a cold damage guaranteed. You just tell them in squad chat prior to the fight, hey, I'm gonna use Freezing Force on you, so if you see ice on the shield, you shoot it, because you're gonna have an ice damage buff, and that can make it so you drop the shield even faster. So yeah. Also, Chilling Globe, there's a lot of melee enemies, like those melee corpus, I think they're called the Trenchers, that will just charge into the bubble. You can freeze them, no problem. This is influenced by duration, so if you have some duration on there, they're frozen for longer than 8 seconds. So, also, if you wanted to take Corrosive Projection into this fight, which I do recommend, at least 3 Corrosive Projections, you can just take off Power Drift and fit it up at the top. So there's much better Frost builds than this. I don't really play Frost that often, but he is decent in this fight. He is in my top 10 list for the reason that he can make a nice safe place and buff you with some cold damage. Alright, so let's move on to number 9. And number 9 is Nova Prime. And you're probably saying, hey Gaz, you just are a Nova main, that's why you like Nova in this fight. No, Nova actually serves a very unique purpose here, in that she actually can make the shield pylons phase, where you have to go hunt down those shield pylons that are pretty far away. She can make it very simple, because what she does is she uses her wormhole, her third ability, to actually teleport. So you can see where those shield pylons are, and with this build we have an 87 meter range with our wormholes. So we push our third ability, an 87 meter wormhole is created, we can jump right through it, get on top of that shield pylon, and just basically one-shot it. So she's really good at that. I mean, last night I was doing a couple runs with her, and I had like 70% damage with 3 chromas in the squad. And I got all those shield pylons before anybody else even got to them. So that may just be part of public matchmaking, people not knowing exactly what's going on. But yeah, she is amazing. Like, she serves the role of like being the shield pylon person in that fight very well. The only problem with Nova, besides that, she's not very survivable. But she can slow some enemies down too. So make a Nova build however you want. Just be aware that you're probably going to want a Trinity or an Oberon to heal you. if you're playing Nova in this fight. Also, you can just use adaptation like I do. Adaptation is really good in this fight, guys, because you're taking damage from like every direction, and it's lots of different types of damage. You're going to be stacked up on adaptation like the entire fight, pretty much. So, yeah, this is what I use for this fight with Nova. I was considering taking off Hunter Adrenaline, but then I was thinking for a while, I'm like, what do I really want in that slot besides Hunter Adrenaline? So, yeah, this was working really good last night, guys. So she is above Frost because she serves a very specific purpose that's actually necessary in the fight, which is hunting down those pylons. Alright, we're going to move on to number 8. So number 8 is Gara. Gara is a very underrated frame, if you ask me. So what Gara does in this fight is, so she can kill the adds if you want to kill adds. You can also use her second ability and stack up the damage, and right when she jumps into those shield pylon bubbles, her second ability will just instantly shred the shield pylon. So you don't even need to shoot it. You just jump into the bubble with Gara, and that shield pylon is dead. If you want to be safer, you can actually throw some more survivability on here, so you could put on like Vitality or something. Let's just put Umbral Vitality on because I see it right there. So you have some more health. Alternatively, she does have some augment mods to heal people, but I tried this out last night. I didn't find it very useful. It's only 3 damage per second. It does give your teammates 90% DR as well, which is nice, but maintaining the her second ability on your teammates is actually a giant pain in the butt because people move around a lot in this game. So, yeah. So her purpose is basically just an ad killer / pylon killer. The only problem with her is she doesn't have any real mobility to get between shield pylon to shield pylon very quickly, unless you have a fully upgraded operator like a lot of people do. Alright, so, yep, she's really good for this. And then we're going to move on to the next one, and the next one is Mirage. So, wow, Mirage is actually useful. Well, there's a caveat to it. So you actually need to be aware of what you're doing if you're going to play Mirage for this fight, because the thing is, you're going to be outside in the open world on Fortuna, and it's always really bright out, so you're not going to actually get your damage reduction buff. You're only going to get a damage, like a weapon damage buff. But that's actually a pretty good thing here, because we're actually going to be getting triple arc guns with Mirage. So use your first ability and your third ability. You're getting a huge, it's basically Chroma, but it's like Chroma with a Death Wish is what I was saying. So we get 456% weapon damage with this build that's not fully maxed out, and we're also getting 4 doppelgangers, and it's just, we're just completely destroying the boss when we get our arc gun out. So she's really good. Just the problem with her is you need to really be on top of things. You need to be like playing as hard as you can, and you need to be like, you need to have an Oberon or a Trinity healing you the entire time, so you don't have, because you're gonna have no survivability. You know, you should probably put another Guardian on here. I think Arcane Guardian is really nice for this fight, guys. Yeah, because you're gonna die really fast with Mirage, but the damage is there, so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. All right, and now we're gonna move on to number 6. So the number 6 spot goes to Nyjah. So the reason Nyjah is good for this is because if you saw my strategy guide that I had for Nyjah for this fight, you actually can run this safeguard build. Let's put corrosive projection up there. I must have done the fight with shield disruption last night. Yeah, they nerfed shield disruption right after I put out that guide the other day, by the way. So, yeah, so the reason Nyjah is good for this is if you are paying attention enough, you can actually target your allies with your third ability, the Safeguard, and give them damage reduction, status immunity, and a nice little extra chunk of health. If you're not paying attention enough, you'll have that yourself from your third ability, so don't worry about it too much. So yeah, the reason Nyjah is good for this is because he's just really safe. He's also pretty fast. If you were to like max out this build, you could actually put, I believe it's called Streamlined Form. This will give you holster speed, also reduced friction, so you can slide around really fast with Nyjah and go and kill those shield pylons really fast. Holster speed is also nice here. I've heard conflicting reports if it actually makes your arc gun come out faster, but it does make it feels like it's making it come out faster, at least to me. It was the first couple days. Who knows if they've changed that. They've been doing a lot of weird stuff with this fight lately, and I have noticed. But yeah, we're just basically going for some strength, and some survivability. Like I said again, adaptation, amazing for this fight. Lots of different damage types coming from all different directions. And yeah, this is, I'd probably replace this, I guess. Like, this is just on here to test. And I do think that the synth mods can be useful in this fight. Alright, so Nyjah's great. Let's move on to Trinity. Trinity is obviously going to be good here if your team wants this extra survivability, which most teams do. I typed in support. All right, there you go. All right, so Trinity. You want to do this Eidolon build, and you want corrosive projection. So you're gonna want 3 corrosive projections for this, guys, and then the last, like the 4th aura mod, you're probably not gonna want a corrosive projection there, because if you remove all of his armor, so this is 30% per aura mod. If you have 4 of those, it's gonna remove 100% of the armor. His armor type or his health type is gonna change to robotic. So that means that if you're modding your arc guns for radiation, like you should, you're going to be losing some damage bonuses there. And then if his health is red and he becomes robotic, that means you want pure electricity on your arc gun, which a lot of people are not going to be modding for, so just take 3 corrosive projections. The 4th one should probably be like a speed holster or maybe an energy siphon, something that's just like extra. You don't really need 4 of them at all, unless you're just going pure electric, but if you're going pure electric, I mean, you probably already have a strategy figured out by now, and you don't even need this video. So, what we're doing here is Hunter Adrenaline, good amount of health, so if we're ever getting damaged, we're going to get enough energy back to immediately cast our blast and go back to full health again. So we basically should never die as long as we're paying enough attention to the game. So we go low health, we get energy back, cast 4, heal our teammates, heal us. Someone did mention that if you are to run any enemy radar for this, they did make Vigilante Pursuit a Exilus mod pretty recently, and this is just a strictly better version of Enemy Sense. And the reason for that is it gives the same values, but it also gives you this 5% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. So that's really good. I hadn't touched this build for a while, that's why I didn't have it on there in the first place, but yes, 100%, this is a better mod than Enemy Sense. So look at this, 5% enemy radar with no bonus, plus 5 enemy radar with this additional bonus. So use this mod over Enemy Sense if you have the slots for it. Alright, so that is Trinity for you. She's really good. So we're going to move on to number 4. So number 4 is Oberon. Why is Oberon above Trinity? Well, because honestly, guys, for a lot of people, this fight is pretty easy, and the amount of healing that Oberon provides is enough. So I actually did this last night without Crystal Projection. I was using Deadeye. This buffs my Rubico Prime and my teammates' Rubico's Primes, so it's really nice. I had Phoenix Renewal, so in case someone died while affected by my 3rd ability, they'd come back to life. And yeah, this prevents knockdowns. This prevents, it gives like your teammates health, energy, not energy, it gives them health and armor, and it's really nice. Like I consider him better than Trinity for this, because just you don't really need as much healing as Trinity is providing a lot of the time, especially in an organized squad. Additionally, you can actually run his augment mod, Smite Infusion. It's similar to the Frost mod I was talking about earlier. So you cast this on your ally. The reason this isn't as useful as the cold one is because a lot of times people are running radiation because they're using a Kickgun, but this will add radiation damage to their attacks for 40 seconds. Same exact thing as the Frost one, just with radiation instead. But most people are running radiation in the first place. Like I'm always running radiation, so this has diminishing usefulness compared to weird elements like fire, electric, cold, you know. So yeah, something like this is great. You can switch out Corrosive Projection, just take Coaction Drift off, and put Corrosive Projection up here. It's going to work just fine, guys. Alright, so that is number 4. Let's go to number 3, and number 3 is, let's just go in here. It's Rhyno. So yeah, Rhino's great. All the DPS, like really high DPS frames are great. Mirage is good too. I put Mirage lower on the list because Mirage like really has survivability issues. So yeah, you just run Corrosive Projection instead of Shield Disruption, and you're going to be fine. You can actually run Iron Shrapnel as well if you want to, because the great thing about Iron Shrapnel is it actually lets you reset your Iron Skin. But you need to do some changes to the build if you were to run an Iron Shrapnel build here. So yeah, you don't take CC as Rhyno when you're in your Iron Skin. You have a huge damage buff. You also are like you're just a tank, like a really strong tank. The whole reason that Rhyno is so high on this list is just because he has crowd control immunity in his Iron Skin, and he also can do that crazy damage with his arc gun when he uses Roar. So yeah, I consider Rhyno top tier for this fight. So yeah, let's move on to number 3. And the reason Rhyno's number 3 is because Chroma exists. So yeah, Chroma is better at this than Rhyno is, just because he deals more damage than Rhyno. That's the easiest way I can put it. This is what I was running. Yeah, you run corrosive projection, and this is not like the only way you can do this. You can honestly put Hunter Adrenaline on here because you will have energy issues with this build. So yeah, if you could afford losing some strength, you could throw on Hunter Adrenaline and not have as bad of energy issues. Okay? So we're running. I was running these arcanes just to try them out last night. Arcane Momentum, so this gives me reload speed with my sniper rifle. That's nice because the Rubico Prime does have kind of an annoying reload time. It's like 1.7 seconds, I want to say. And you're going to be critting almost every time with the Rubico Prime, so that's going to make it like basically under a second reload time. And you can actually put 2 of these on here and make it happen twice at the same time. And then we're also using Arcane Velocity to increase the fire rate with pistols because I took Lethal Torrent off of my pistol to fit another element on there. So, yeah. These are optional. You could just put Arcane Guardian or Grace or something like that on there instead. Also, Nullifier is fine. Alright, so Chroma is great. Chroma, you can get some really good speedrun times with Chroma. And then my number 1 is... It's not really a surprise if you've seen any of my other videos. It is Octavia. So Octavia is really good for this fight. The reason she's good is she actually takes care of the ads. She takes care of your team by making them invisible if they know what's going on. And she also gives a ton of buffs. Like, if you read the wiki page for this, I mean, you can even look at it here. Look at all the buffs. Look at all the buffs that her third ability gives. Armor increase, speed, multi-shot, melee damage. Like, look at all this stuff. You're going to see your buff bar if there's an Octavia in your squad, and you'll be like, what the heck is all that stuff? But don't worry, it's all good stuff. No problem there. So what you do with Octavia is you throw on your first ability, then you put your fourth ability near your first ability, and then as the enemies shoot it, it starts ramping up this damage in a really big radius, so 27.7 meters with this build, and it just, they run in and they die. They shoot the thing, they're probably going to be dead as soon as they get close to it. It also kills reinforcement beacons, which is really nice. And let's see the build we're using here. So we have pretty, like, this is the same build I was running the other day, actually. So the thing with Octavia is the reason she's way above Mirage and all those other squishy frames that you'd be like, why would they be useful here, is because she can go perma-invis. Use her third ability, crouch a bunch, you're going to go invisible, and yeah, that makes her extremely survivable compared to like a Mirage or a Nova or some other frame like that. So, yeah, I would highly recommend her for this in team setting or in solo. So if you were to run like a bunch of DPSs and like maybe one healer, I think that would be great as well. It's really not too challenging of a fight once you know what's going on, guys. This is just further min-maxing. I'm going to show really quickly the weapons I've been using, because I have a pretty good setup right now. Okay, so we're using a viral electric build on the Rubico Prime. So that lets us cover viral, electric, puncture, impact, slash, blah, blah, blah. Another good thing about sniper rifles and why sniper rifles are still really good in these open world boss fights is because snipers actually have a mechanic where they have a combo duration, kind of like melee. So see right here, this mod plus combo duration while aiming with a sniper. That means like as you're firing bullets at a target, you're going to be building a combo counter that multiplies your damage. So that's why the Rubico is really nice, is because that's why multi-shot is really nice, because you're firing multiple bullets, so all those bullets are hitting the target and building your combo counter faster and faster. That's one of the reasons why people like multi-shot on Rivens more than plus damage on Rivens for snipers, okay? There's a couple of problems with the Rubico, like its combo duration decays as fast as its reload is, which is a problem for a lot of people, but normally you're just dealing so much damage the Rubico doesn't really matter. So yeah, viral electric on the Rubico, and then we're moving on to the Kickgun, so the Tomb Finger. Pretty hard-hitting Tomb Finger. We have impact, heat, puncture, corrosive, and radiation. Like I said earlier, we removed Lethal Torrent from the build, which does feel bad, but yeah, if you want to cover another element, you're going to need to take a mod off if you really want to go that route. So yeah, if you have like a fire rate Riven, that would be great. My Riven's pretty mediocre, to be honest, but it gets the job done. I haven't had any problems with this. And then some new tech that I've been using lately is I've actually been using the Redeemer Prime. So I actually got the Redeemer Prime yesterday, and man, it's a really good gun, guys. You should definitely get a Redeemer Prime. But yeah, this is what we're doing here. We're running gas and magnetic. So another thing is the shotgun blast from this Redeemer Prime deals blast damage as well. So when you're getting up close and just blasting the spider with this Redeemer Prime, you're getting huge numbers. It does diminish a lot with range, so if you're like 20 meters away, you're probably going to be getting really low numbers compared to if you were like up close in its face. So I did want to mention this. If you were to like fully min-max this thing and go crazy, you would actually not even worry about 100% status. I have my 100% status built on here still, but if you were to like put formas on this thing and just go all out, you would actually take off Drifting Contact and you'd replace all of these with 90% elementals instead of the 60/60s, because status chance doesn't really seem to matter against this boss. Okay, so I hope that stuff was useful. Really quick, let's also go over the operator. Yep, so let's go here. So there's a lot of focus trees that you can go into here. I'd say that the most useful ones are Zenurik, because like Zenurik, more energy for you and your teammates. You can cast all your abilities all the time. You don't need the crazy Void Strike stuff for this fight. You can, though, use Void Strike. I'd say Manta Rai is the second best choice for this, because it has these passives. So Phoenix Talons, physical damage increased by 25%. That's actually useful here, because you need to deal physical damage to his shield. Additionally, Phoenix Spirit, increased elemental damage by 25%. Also very useful here if you're using like electric or some weird element to break his shield. And then you also can use Void Strike. So if you've done Eidolon fights extensively, you know exactly what Void Strike is. You go into your operator mode, you hold the crouch button, and the longer you're in there, the stronger you become for 8 attacks. So if you coordinate this with your teammates, I'm sure you could drop his shield instantly, no problem. But yeah, this is not necessary at all for this fight. Okay, we were using like no Void Strike the other day and got like a 3.5 minute run. Okay, so it's not really bad at all. Yeah, so these are the main passives you're looking for on Manta Rai. Additionally, there's like, I guess Nyjah, like, I'm going to be using, so here's the thing guys, Nyjah will be a lot more useful in the future once I get access to the new operator arcanes that change my amp to viral damage or heat damage, because then I won't need to be modding any weapons for viral or heat. I can actually use these amps, amp arcanes to make my amp do those types of damage and not even bring those weapons in the first place. So yeah. Also, as far as amps go, I still only have Cetus amps. I have some parts for a new Fortuna amp today, so I might build that eventually, like later tonight. But yeah, this one's been really good for cycling. You can honestly use a lot of different stuff, but yeah, I've found the 423 from Cetus very nice. And as far as arcanes go, I have Virtuous Shock. It doesn't really matter what amp arcanes you bring, to be completely honest. I just stuck with Virtuous Shock because that's what I used for Eidolons. And I've been trying Magus Lockdown. I don't have it ranked up high enough to actually use it. Yeah, Magus Elevate, guys. This is going to be like, if you get a set or two of these, your time is going to be so easy doing this fight. So what this does is you jump back and forth between your operator, 75% chance to heal your Warframe for 200. And this can double proc. So if you have two of these equipped, it can be 400 health, jumping back and forth. You can spam that. You're going to be full health in no time. Okay? So if you want to get these, it's really nice, but it's not necessary if you have a healer. It can feel pretty bad if you don't have a healer and you don't have these as well, though. So keep that in mind. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. Please like, favorite, subscribe, share the video if you think it's nice and useful, and you guys have a nice holiday season. I will be back in the next couple days, streaming and all that stuff. Alright? Peace out, guys. Later.